Guys, welcome to the Marking Out Network. I am Neo Pretty Boy Thomas here. I am with Dean Walker.
Your boy Cordell, aka Smoke.
And normally this would be a celebratory occasion. This is our 200th episode. Now, things have changed. We had a lot of fun stuff planned. We are going to do some comedy skits. We're going to make a lot of jokes. 200 is a big number. But obviously things are different now with the passing of Windham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. I have to say, I was at my day job earlier today, and I saw the news, and I have to say, I got to say I'm still in shock by it. I am still trying to cope with it and try to wrap my head around it. Bray Wyatt apparently died from a heart attack today, and he lives behind 4 children, his wife JoJo, and a wife from a previous marriage. And it seems that we watch these wrestlers every single week, whatever. We don't know them personally. We don't claim to know them personally. But when you watch somebody every single week, every month, every year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you feel like you know these people. Not on a personal level, but you grow up watching them. And every time a wrestler passes away, it's Bray Wyatt today, which is extremely our heart and our prayers and our condolences go out to the Bray Wyatt family. But every time a wrestler passes away, it doesn't get any easier. Dealing with death, if it's a friend, a family member, somebody you see on TV, it never gets any easier. And I still struggle to find a way to deal with it, because I'm looking at social media, everybody's pouring their heart out, they're reminiscing about Bray Wyatt, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can express your feelings and your emotions, and we can talk about them, and we can celebrate his life, but sometimes I feel that's not enough, and I don't really know what to do. I know WWE's doing a really good thing, donating the proceeds of his merchandise to Bray Wyatt's family, and it's a great thing. No amount of money is gonna make him come back. We all know that, but that's one small thing that WWE can do. But I just my heart really goes out, because he was such a creative guy. He was such a passionate individual about the business. He was such a presence on screen. When he was on screen, no matter what you liked about him, what he said, or what you didn't, you watched what he said. And that's something that very few professional wrestlers and entertainers can do. And that's what he did. He drew you in. He made you want to watch whatever the next thing was going to be. And it's just really hard. And I want to say that Bray Wyatt passing at such a young age, I'm 3 years older than he is. And it just seems weird for me that I see younger people passing away and dying. I can't wrap my head around that, because it shouldn't be that way. And he had a bright future. I know he had a lot of aspirations, but again, it's really hard to take in, and sometimes I don't really know what to say. And I don't know, you guys want to take over?
I think the thing that did it for me was when Bray Wyatt came onto the scene. He gave me that sense of nostalgia again. The Attitude Era had so many characters, so many different, just different elements to it. I mean, I think for a lot of us, no one thought that anyone would ever come close to the level of Undertaker. When Undertaker, started slowing down and started not showing up as much as he used to, and I never thought we would ever have a character or a person who could even come close to a persona like Undertaker that would ever wake us up and have us get that feeling again. And Bray Wyatt really brought that feeling back. He brought that sense of character, that sense of fear, that sense of getting you excited for wrestling. And not just because like we've talked about many times before, wrestling isn't just what you can do in that ring. It's about the character you bring.
Yeah, of course.
And it's about your mic presence, your stage presence. And this guy, man, he had a hell of a creative mindset that I felt like was too big for wrestling. And I think he used all his creativeness to try to bring so many people a certain quality of joy to the TV screens, and he definitely brought that for me, man. This guy had me thinking I can be a horror film writer, because he just, every time I watched him on TV, he brought a new sense of inspiration to me, and I'm like, this dude is creative as fuck. I was like, that is crazy what he comes up with, even if it didn't, pan out well on screen, or the storyline didn't go too far, or whatever character he had didn't catch on as great as his previous ones. It's still such a creative spark that he just kept coming back to back with different characters and different ideas, and I always admired him for that. And in his short but long time in WWE, we got to see not only him become an inspiration in such a small amount of time. We have wrestlers to this day, wrestlers now who I feel like are mimicking what he's done, and in their own sort of way. And so I think he will forever be remembered. He'll forever be idolized, and I think we can say nothing but thank you, for what he's brought to the WWE universe, to television, and to aspiring wrestlers, all around.
I remember when Bray Wyatt came onto the scene, and at first I was kind of hesitant, with this character. I didn't really think too much of it. It was kind of like this, just, filthy looking, rednecky, cult leader esque. But I don't know. It was just something. I think the promo that comes to mind, I know he was over before this, but the promo that comes to mind was when he came down to the ring. It just gave me chills, because he had that that children's choir singing. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It just gave me the chills, and it freaked me out in a good way. In a good way, it made me feel creeped out, and I think that is when myself I've always wanted to be this character in wrestling that was cool, tough, this and that, just general type of wrestling characters. But then when I saw him acting like that, I was like, man, this opens a whole nother door. And it kind of got my creative juices flowing. But I mean, you've had creepy characters, Undertaker especially.
Yeah.
A little bit of Kane. I don't know if you want to throw the Boogeyman in there. But
you can.
He was a little weird.
You can.
He was a little weird.
You can throw him in there.
You've had these supernatural-esque characters before, but for some reason, I think since I was like a young teenager when he hopped onto the scene, and I actually grew up in it, it was, I don't know, man, it definitely inspired me to be more than just the character I was going to be. So I was just going to be this like Jeff Carter character. That was my first one. And I was just going to be this young guy who comes onto the scene, probably a little bit more tan and, just, jacked, looks good, wrestles good. And at the end of the day, I mean, what kind of character is that? That's not really a character. It's bland, it's generic. And then, I don't know, I feel like he, in a way, he taught me how to bring my love of horror movies into character work. And then as I got older, I was like, oh man, I'll nickname myself the Reaper and kind of have this same type of promo that he has, because he didn't just come on there and go, I'm gonna beat your ass, you in the back, come on out here. He the way he talked and carried himself, and he almost talked in poems sometimes.
He did.
It was off-putting in a good way. And I don't know, man, he was something different. He was definitely made for the movies, but he knew how to wrestle, man, and he did it well, man. And I don't know. I think he's one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to character, promo work, and I don't know. I mean, now that all this is said and done, I mean, do you feel like, and I'm not trying to make it about someone else, but do you feel like Bo Dallas, his brother, now that he basically returned to be with him, but do you think he's going to have like some sort of solo career to pay tribute and pay homage to Bray in a way? Do you think that's going to be his last go in the company? Or do you think he's just going to leave?
Do you want to answer that? In my personal opinion, I believe so. Question is, can he do it? I believe he will. He's gonna come and probably try to finish off what Bray didn't complete. I mean, like you said, we talked earlier before we recorded. His last match was the blackout match. That's not really a match I really would want to be remembered for. When you're thinking of such a great talent such as Bray Wyatt, but then it's like, can you really say that? Because that was also in true fashion and form of one of his characters. Like that was a match that, one of his that at that time it had something to do with one of his characters. So I mean, you can say I think it's all about perspective. You could say it was not the greatest match, or you could say it was just Bray being Bray or WWE being WWE. But I think that his brother will come in and I think he'll start off with the last hurrah to his brother, and then take it on from there if he's allowed to and able to.
I'm not really sure about that. It's really hard to answer because I think it's too soon. I think obviously his brother's gonna have to grieve and.
I don't think it's like gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be his promo on SmackDown.
No. It's a weird spot too because you want to continue your brother's legacy, but then at the same time, you kind of want to establish your own legacy. In a way, he could pay tribute to his brother, but I don't think he's gonna carry on the Bray Wyatt character or anything like that.
No. I
think it's gonna be Bray Wyatt. Had a phenomenal career. It seems like really short career. And I think his brother Bo Dallas he will be around in some form or fashion, but I think it's going to be more of a tribute to Bray Wyatt, and I think he's going to kind of just do his own thing. Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys have a favorite Bray Wyatt moment? If you can kind of pinpoint a specific moment, because I have a moment that I want to talk about, but Smoke.
You go ahead and share it.
All right, cool. I got to say my favorite Bray Wyatt moment was when he won the WWE title.
Okay.
It was a short-lived reign, but I felt like the fans were behind him, and him finally getting that victory solidified him, all the hard work that he put into his character and how driven he was, and it was like a culmination of everything. And if it was like a genuine win that I was really happy for the guy. Now, guys win titles all the time, come and go, and they lose it. You don't feel anything for it. But I was like generally happy when he won the title. I wish it went longer than it did to see really what he can do with it. But yeah, winning the WWE Championship, I believe Elimination Chamber. I think he pinned AJ Styles too to win the title. That was my favorite moment. Now there's really good matches. I can't think. My head is like mush right now. I can't really think off the top of my head a lot of matches. But the one match that stands out to me was the Wyatt family versus the Shield.
Yeah.
That match was phenomenal. That was one of the best matches, like not only for Bray Wyatt's career, but like for the Shield's career too.
For that decade. Era.
His rivalry with Daniel Bryan was really good. That was like his first major rivalry. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So we tend to forget, because we were maybe not so keen on this Bray Wyatt recently. But if you look at the totality of his career, his impact is going to be felt for a really, really long time. You may not notice it right now, but his impact, his character work, his presence on screen, his whole aura. He had a certain delivery that he conducted his promos in, and it's something that's going to be, he's going to inspire the next generation, like Dean Walker and everybody else that is going to go on to Peacock Network and to start looking up Bray Wyatt matches. And his influence is going to be impactful for a long time to come. And I think that's where your legacy is. That's where that when you leave your mark, when it's all said and done, when you finally get your number called, how people are going to remember you and what you're leaving behind. Money's great. That's all good. You can't take the money with you, though. Like, what you leave behind and how people remember you. Because I know I've seen a bad word said about Bray Wyatt. He seemed like a really nice person. He was a good family man. Again, don't know him personally, but he seemed like a generally good dude. And it's a tragedy to lose somebody so young with so much potential that wanted to keep going in this business. And but man, it's really tough. And but yeah, that's pretty much my favorite moment, him winning the WWE Championship. What do you think, Smoke?
I know a lot of people didn't. This character was a hit or a miss, but I wouldn't say the legacy of this character was my favorite. I would say the build up to the introduction was one of my favorites. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When he slowly introduced the Fiend, I thought it was incredibly genius. I thought he was very creative. I thought he was extremely talented. And I honestly, when he slowly did it, it was like, at first it was like, okay, I'm back. I'm in this new little puppet show. You know, nothing to see here. Second time, yeah, here are me and my puppet friends. Now I got an evil smirk on my face, but nothing to see here. Just me coming back out with me and my puppet friends. Third time, you got to see what was really coming. And it was showing the Fiend, and I was like, man, this dude had just a great build up. Just, he had something in store for everyone. And to me, once he came out with the Fiend, and many people can disagree with me, I'm probably sure I'm going to get a lot of backlash for what I'm about to say. He reached Kane and Undertaker status as far as this supernatural being character, or demonic character. To me, he reached their status of I won't say greatness, because you can never reach Undertaker's, you can never reach Undertaker's point of greatness, but I'm saying he reached their level of creativity and fear. And he was, to me, when you talk about Undertaker and Kane, you have to throw Bray Wyatt in that conversation now.
I mean, I agree with you almost 100%. I do. The build up to the Fiend character, where he was slowly trickling it in, was phenomenal. I think too, because it was a character, like you said, would play with puppets, and he was haunted by like a demon. Yeah. And the flashes of the face, and you didn't know what to expect, and that's what got you hooked. Yeah. Because you didn't know what to expect. And the debut of the Fiend, I don't even remember where he debuted. Was it SummerSlam?
No, it was actually he actually debuted. It could have been SummerSlam, but I feel like he debuted on a Raw, and he attacked Finn Balor.
Okay, because I don't remember the match he actually debuted at off the top of my head.
You might actually be right, man.
Which one?
It says attacking Finn Balor on the July 15th, 2019 episode of Raw.
Was his first match, though, against Finn at SummerSlam?
It was.
At SummerSlam, he would defeat him quickly. From there, he would feud with Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship, which he eventually won. No, I knew his first match as the Fiend was SummerSlam, but I remember when he debuted as the Fiend, and that the lights cut off, and we just all knew. We was like, "Oh, homeboy coming."
Yeah.
And when people saw his body in the ring, and not only that, he had gotten bigger. Like, I felt like he had gotten like just
he looked more broad.
He looked more broad, not bigger in a big, like, he was just more like, he was like a threat. Yeah. And the way I remember when the lights flashed on his face, I was like, shit. That was like, this put a little shiver up my spine.
That mask was fucked up.
It was. I was like, Jesus. And I was like, this guy need to get into horror films. He is crazy creative. And I just want to say, like, I remember that moment, the lead up to the Fiend, and just what I was so excited. I had this like smile on my face because I'm like I think one thing all three of us probably have in common is that we have in our own way a love for movies and a love for creative cinematography in our own individual way. And for me, for someone who does love film and does notice small details in films, he had me feeling like I was watching a film.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think you can go back into any episode that we recorded. I have always said he is one of the most creative guys in WWE within the last 2 decades, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing though too with the Fiend is like every match felt special. It felt like a big deal. You know what I mean? Because he was this entity. He was this otherworldly being that you had to damn near kill to beat. And
then he wouldn't even. You had to pick and choose. Everyone didn't know who they were going to get on the pay-per-view. They didn't know if they were going to get my fun Playhouse with the sweater.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, or they were going to get the Fiend. I remember it was a whole build up to the Fiend, and when they got to the pay-per-view, Bray Wyatt comes out with a sweater on and some cardigans, I think, and he just wrestles. And I'm like, everybody was like, the fuck? Like this is what we getting tonight?
Yeah.
It was just like build-ups like that I thought were great.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
And I mean this as respectful as I can be. When I first saw The Fiend or any version of it, it was very like B horror movie. You know what I'm saying? It was very low budget horror movie, but sometimes those are the best. They're the most fun. I mean, you think about some like crappy horror movies.
Wrong Turn.
Or what's the one with the alien? You guys know what I'm talking about. Those aliens, those alien clowns, killer clowns from outer space.
That's a cult classic, sir.
It is. But you know those like crappy horror movies? They're the best.
They are.
And
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Bray Wyatt was a mix of creative genius in the WWE as this kind of like, I don't know, he took it a different turn, and that's what I respected the most. He didn't just go out there and try to be a version of a wrestler. He came out there and he threw everything he had onto the plate. And he looked like that, horror movie, but also he kind of looked like he came straight out of a haunted house.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys in the costume, and he just wandered into the ring. And it was fun, man. It was I don't know. I think, at the end of the day, I'm definitely going to be even more inspired going forward. I mean, when Neil told me, I was driving the truck for work, driving back, and I saw it pop up, and my immediate thought was, I've had so much fun playing this like douchebag Dean Walker or Trust Fund or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I can make that into something on the indies just for fun, kind of like an Orange Cassidy or whatever. Just be fun with it and actually like, because I like to do comedy. It's fun. But as soon as Neil told me that this rush of like all the inspirational moments I've had from him in the past as a kid, like I remember telling my childhood friend, I went up to him and I showed him Bray Wyatt, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I was like, this makes me excited, because I grew up over a decade with John Cena, Randy Orton, and all those type of characters to where they're just wrestlers, they're just fighters. They're in the ring, they're doing their thing. But when I saw Bray, I was kind of like, this is what I want to do. And I thought of all this supernatural shit, and it kind of just, it inspired me in a certain way that, hell, I was like, maybe I want to be an actor. I don't know. I was like, maybe that's my
not everybody
go-to,
not everybody has a range as a wrestler. Not everybody has range. You could be the most talented wrestler in that ring, but not everyone needs it, but not everyone has range or the ability to expand and think outside the box like Bray Wyatt did.
I mean, you think about how he started as Husky Harris in NXT.
Yeah.
And then went to Bray Wyatt. I mean, the amount of change that guy made because they allowed him to. Because I'm sure he's always had this image. I mean, you don't just learn this overnight. I'm sure he didn't go into WWE thinking, I'm going to be Husky Harris. And I'm gonna be this like
Husky
no name,
Harris.
no face type of character. And I mean, he returned to FCW, now NXT, and he created the Wyatt family. And sadly, we lost Brody Lee, or is it John Huber? John Huber or Luke
what was
Harper,
was that what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2020, 2021. It was around there, and he had that lung issue. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'm at a loss for words. I'm still not, my head's not wrapped around this fully. I'm still in shock from it. But I mean, the fact that we lost them both this soon, I mean, it's insane.
I feel really bad for, well, first off, all his family members and friends and co-workers, but his children. His children are very young, still very young, and especially his children with JoJo. Like, I think she's still, like, technically a new mom of two little ones that probably haven't even hit the age of 4 or 5 yet, and that is insane to think about, you know, being a young mom and now losing not only your husband but your children now lost their father and only got to have him around for 2 to 3, 5 years. That's insane to me.
Yeah, that is. It's you. That's the first thought I thought about too, was the kids, the children. I was like, man, they had a father and he was taken from us very, very young. And they're going to grow up knowing how great of a man he is. People are going to tell them. They're going to watch the videos and all that stuff. You know, they're his legacy, and they're going to hopefully continue on. Whatever they choose to do with their own lives is going to be their own thing. But they're definitely going to remember, because he will never be forgotten by any means necessary. He will never be forgotten for the work that he did. If you loved him, if you hate him, his impact is going to be felt in the professional wrestling entertainment business for a very long time.
I think JoJo as well, who was with the company for a short time. I think she could either go, not that this is in her mindset at all right now, but I think that she could even go the route of Vicky Guerrero when Eddie passed. You know what I mean? Coming on screen, Vicky Guerrero repped Eddie Guerrero to the wheels fell off, and I think she remarried. And till her last match or her last segment with WWE, she went out to his music. It was like a last thank you to her late husband. I mean, we see it all the time. I don't think this will be the last we hear or feel the presence of Bray Wyatt at all. I think he has family. I know he has family, legacy, love, and inspiration that will carry on, and we'll always think of Bray Wyatt when these moments pop up. Hell, I mean, they popped up before his untimely death. I mean, we got Wayne Gacy. You can't tell me he not inspired by Bray Wyatt.
Wayne Gacy?
What's his name?
Oh, Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy. Oh,
you think about the actual
I'm thinking
guy.
about the killer. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe Gacy. He kind of looked like him. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Joe Gacy
Joe
from NXT.
Gacy.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry, Joe Gacy.
lost me there for a second.
I'm sorry, Joe Gacy.
I was like,
no wonder it
Bray.
got quiet. I'm like,
well, I'm like, he can't be inspired by Bray. I don't think he knew him.
no, but Joe Gacy. I'm sorry. You can't tell me he not inspired by Bray Wyatt.
He actually was just in an interview, and he spoke upon Bray, and it was kind of like, I remember listening to it or reading it, and I was like, yeah, I could see them having a match in the future, and then this happened like hours later or the next day, and I was like, geez, man.
I mean, Joe Gacy, and then we have Alexa Bliss, who her last 4 years have kind of been wrapped up in the
Fiend.
The Fiend's world, and and she partnered with Bray for a while, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
That she can even say a huge thank you to him, and that's her inspiration probably came from that as well. You have 3 other wrestlers who were attached to him, and they, they also have sparked creativity from him. You know, it's crazy how you can have such a presence and inspiration, and you're still here. You're still young. You're still in the now. He didn't retire. He didn't stop wrestling for a while. He was still very much there, and you had that much of a presence that people were already trying to imitate what you were doing. I think that speaks volumes, and I think I don't think he has to leave his life with any regrets except for a job well done.
Oh man, 100% agree. Amen to that, man. Amen to that.
I did want to say that since he is gone from us now, I'm hoping that WWE somehow can pay tribute to him, and yeah, I mean, kind of like how Andre the Giant has the Battle Royal. I'm hoping they'll do something for him. I mean, hell, even next WrestleMania season, maybe he can be drafted to the Hall of Fame. I think he definitely deserves it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Hall of Fame, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
We're recording this on Thursday. It's a late night. We had some other stuff planned, but we're recording this on Thursday, obviously the day that he passed. And hope on SmackDown Friday tomorrow they really honor him as much as they can. Maybe it's short notice, but maybe the following Monday they do a whole tribute show to him. I think that would be great. I think wrestlers or people in general, we're all human beings. We need some kind of closure. We need some kind of way to grieve, and I think the best way to do that is not to shy away, but to embrace his legacy, embrace him as a human being, and really show that how much he mattered into the wrestling business and how impactful he was in everybody's lives around him. And I think that would be a great thing to do. Whether WWE has plans, I have no idea. We have no idea because it is very soon. It's they probably don't even know what they're going to do. But I would want to see something in that regard. It just takes me back to when Eddie Guerrero passed and them all standing up on the stage and tears were flowing. And I told the story many times, man. I went into the bathroom and I cried and I cried and I cried. It was like my own dad passed away.
I was in the 5th grade, and I was on the military base in Texas, and I remember my mom called me into the room and she told me, and I was bawling. Cause man, I thought Eddie Guerrero was one funny dude. I really did. I'm a laid back kind of guy, and I love being around or seeing over the top charismatic people, and I love seeing people like that, and he was definitely one of them. I like people who can be themselves and outlandish and flamboyant like that. Like I love it. So it's like, man, Eddie Guerrero was definitely one of a kind, and Bray Wyatt is also one of a kind. And can I be honest with you guys? And this might be far fetched. They probably won't do it now or next year or whatever. I think during October, I think WWE definitely needs like a Halloween themed type of either pay-per-view or Raw or SmackDown or NXT segment like they did this year with like Mandy Rose and the little haunted house. I think they need to keep. I mean, NXT does that anyway.
Well, they do have Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. Yeah, I think the main roster needs something like that in honor of characters like Bray Wyatt, and Undertaker, Kane. I think they need something like that now. Since he kind of sparked that type of creativity in everyone, and I think he shined mostly in October half the time. I think that's when they really allowed him to be free. So yeah, I think they have a lot to be grateful and thankful for to Bray Wyatt.
They do.
You guys ready to wrap up? You guys
Yes,
good?
we are.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, I guess I know this is off topic. I don't know if Neil's gonna do a pay-per-view review. Are you gonna
pay-per-view review?
Are you gonna be talking about AEW? It's a big show.
I might.
You gonna fill those shoes, man? You gonna step up?
I might. I'm thinking about it. It's been a long week. I'm trying to decompress here, but All In AEW, the biggest show in the history of the business. That's what they're telling us. Over 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. The card is jam-packed. It's going to be a great, great, great event. I don't want to compare it to WWE because AEW is its own thing, but I think it's going to rival WrestleMania when it comes.
Jericho said it's going to be bigger than WrestleMania.
Jericho can tout it all he wants, man.
Just get ready, man.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they're going to be pleasantly surprised about the outcome of the show. And I think people underestimate still AEW. They underestimate them for some reason. I don't know why, but they deliver, I would say, 9 out of 10 times every time. So that's another thing that we got to look forward to this weekend. And can I do a cheap plug?
Yeah.
Can I plug something?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, so Neil Pretty Boy Thomas is going to be at StarCast 6. I think it's 6, right? I think it's 6. September 2nd, going to go hang out over there. And I will be at AEW All Out in United Center, Chicago.
How much you charging for autographs?
Yeah, man.
Picture $10, autograph like 25.
I think it's the
30.
same as Cardona.
Cardona.
Yeah, Cardona.
Save your money, everybody.
$25 a pop.
Save your money, everybody.
If you want to do a picture and autograph, I'll do for $45. But if you want to do picture only, $25. Autograph only, $25.
Wow, you guys keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what, now that I think about it, I feel like if you had your own pop figure, I feel like that's like you made it. Like that's it.
Oh, really?
I would buy that.
A pop of me?
I would buy it.
That's cool.
I would. I never thought I would openly admit that. I would actually buy a pop figure of you.
The marking out.
Yeah, what if we got
pop
like
figures.
a 3-pack of us? The marking out 3-pack. Smoke, you could be in the center.
Oh, man. That's a big spot, man.
That's a big deal.
You gonna be center, man?
That's a big.
I think we. Whew. The cow jumped way over the moon. Like,
Okay.
geez.
One more thing. Happy birthday, Smoke.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I will be taking a break from wrestling for about a week and a half.
Oh man, where are you off to so people know where to look for you at?
I'm off to anywhere but here, and I will be celebrating the big 3-0.
Wow, you getting fucking old, bro.
Relax.
I'm sorry. What age you turning this year?
Fucking grandpa over here, man.
What age are you turning again? Can you elaborate?
Don't worry about it.
We want to know.
Don't worry about it.
A decade or so?
No, man. Can we wrap this up already?
Okay, gotcha.
Jesus Christ. Let's
I
wrap this
got a
up.
big birthday coming up in March.
Oh, he'll be 25.
25, man. Old man.
Oh.
Old man Dean.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody cares.
Nobody.
Nobody
I'm
asked.
just saying.
Still
Old man Dean.
still got fucking milk behind his ears. Damn.
All right. You guys know where to follow us. It's down below. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.